Hey, Carlos Arte here from Dragon Rush Esports. Today we are going to look into Axie Infinity more as a business than really a game. And if you're going to be honest, most of you guys are playing Axie Infinity because of the money making opportunity than really the game side. Now, I am a gamer. I grew up playing Pokemon, and till this day, I still play a lot of games. And one of my goals one day is to build my own game studio. But to really what I do every single day is that I am a serial entrepreneur. I've started three businesses now, and I'm looking at Axie Infinity as my fourth business. And these tools that I build were specifically for that. And the fourth business that I'm starting right now is actually Dragon Rush Esports, right? And I'm going to show you the whole plan around that and actually the tools that I'm using to help organizing everything. Now, on when you're starting any business, it's extremely important for you to understand how much money you can make and also how much money you need to spend initially, right? And then how much money you can make in the long run. So these two tools, they basically highlight the creation of the breeding process and also the creation of a scholarship program, right? We are going to look into first the breeding process, and then we're going to look into the scholarship program. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I don't go in depth in this video on how to breed or what is the plan of breeding. If you want that, you can look into thousands of other tutorials here on YouTube. But in sum, I'm going to give you the 80/20 of the breeding process. Now, the method that we are looking right now into breeding is what it's called the ABC method, right? So basically that method is simply, let's say that you have two axes, right? Actually four, sorry, it's four started axes. And then from these four started axes, you breed them four times, right? So I'm going to grab this you breed these guys four times, and then you breed the other guys four times as well. And then what you can do is for each parent, right, you can breed them four times as well. So you'll breed four times to here, four times here, four times here, and then four times here. And you can see on how exponentially you can start building it, right? Or what you can do is when you reach this level here, if you want, you can just breed two times and you'll be basically replicating the exact number of axes. But instead of spending, for example, $15,000, right, you're going to spend way less money. So that's the whole premise on how breeding works. Now, this tool here, it will allow you to assess exactly how much money you need to get started with breeding and then keep track exactly of your profit and your losses as well. So how does this all work? The first thing that you need to do, very first thing that you need to do is in the day that you want to start breeding, right? You need to go here and you need to actually manually introduce the SLP value, the excess value, and the Ethereum value of the day. Now, you'll have to do this every single day that you go to the spreadsheet. One way that you can do it is you can use a API connector that is available for the Google spreadsheet, and you can connect that API with, for example, the CoinGecko API and get that data there automatically. It's an extra step. If you want to do it, just search Google's spreadsheet connector and you can see exactly how you do it. For me, it's really not necessary to do it. You can just look it real quick and add the values here. Now, once you do this, right, if you're just starting out and you want to understand what is the value to start on a breeding farm in Axie Infinity, here are the exact calculations that you need to do. This here will be the only part that you'll enter it manually. So you'll add, for example, the value of the four axes that you identified in the market. Right? For example, let's say if I change this, for example, for 700 because I want to buy that axis for 700, this price will change which will change the initial price as well to start a farm. Now, for this price here, basically what this is doing is grabbing the initial number of SLP that you need to create the four first axes and multiplying that by this value here, right? For the value of SLP, and same thing goes for AXS, but multiplying with the value for AXS. Then what this does is it shows you the initial farm cost, which will be your initial investment cost. So once you have your initial investment cost, right, you have these other coordinates here. Now, what this does is it will show you exactly when you hit break even, and then it will show you when you have profit. So how does this work? Now, if you're going to look here on our initial breeding, we'll have this area here. And this area basically will hold the both parents, right? And then below, you'll hold the other parents as well, if you want to. And then you add the numbers of breedings, right? Of course, here you'll basically continue the breeding number. So for example, if I drag this down, if I drag these down and then I add the breeding number here, that is, so the bit 3 will be, in this case, 900, right? These should be calculating, but it's not. Oh, I think that the problem is I needed to do this. That's fine. We're fixing this as we go. And then if I drag this down, it will calculate the price, right? So you'll see that this cost here will be much higher, right, to start the bidding. And then this will calculate your bidding price. Then what this will do is you can add here your predicted selling price. The way that you find your predicted selling price, keep in mind that this is for the parents. The way that you do this is actually one of my Axies. You can go to axie.tech and you can go to Axie pricing, add the ID, and you'll see how much it was sold, right? Funny enough, this particular Axie here, mine was sold for the value that we have in here. That is 19 ETH, basically, 0.19 ETH. Now, what this will do then is it will find, once you add the both prices for each parent, right, it will show you your selling price in USD, and then it will just show you your profit loss, if you're profitable or if you're losing money. Right? That's basically the whole premise of this. It's showing your profit loss. Then how you can make your money back. Now, once you have that, once you start bidding and you start selling, you will add, right, these values here. Right? That is the values of your breeding on how much money or profit you are making per breed per parent, right? What you can do next in this case is you can just add the next gens in here, and you have the kids, and you can add the code names of the kids and the IDs as well. And then you can just basically repeat the process and adding them to this area here, where you basically add the next generation and so on, just to keep track of it. Now, the other part, that the way that this works is here, basically, if you look at here where it says initial bidding price, what this is doing is if I duplicate this, right? What this does, basically, you just need to add an extra plus, and then you go to Gen 3 and you add the value, and then plus you add the value for the second set or third or fourth set that you have. And then this will show you that value that you have in here. Now, once this turns green, it means that you are basically close to. So the green wasn't supposed to be there. The green is here in profit. It's just was checking that again. Now, what happens is this in this dashboard, in this case, right? If these basically breaks even, right? Once this breaks even, then basically everything that you have here sold will start to be profit, but you still need to find what is actually profit. And the way that you do this is by looking here into profit. So right now you're still running on a loss. And then if I change this, for example, to 4,000, right? This means that now you are profitable and your break even is a negative value, because even though you sold 8,000, right, you have a profit of 2,000. So that's how you can keep track on how much is the cost of your breeding, and also how much is your profit at the end of the day, and how you can make your money back. So you can definitely use this tool to not only plan what your goal will be, but also to find when will be your break even, and also to find when will you start to become profitable. Now, the second tool that I have here for you is actually Notion. And Notion, the way that I use Notion is to create a guild, which is what I said in the beginning. Dragon Rush Esports, at the end of the day, it's just a guild. Now, the way that I'm planning on building this is, and you'll have an exact copy of this. Now, keep in mind that the one that we personally use is this one. There's a Dragon Rush, but for the sake of this video, I created a duplicate version, and I deleted a couple of sensitive information, of course. But I'm going to show you how you can use this and how you can basically build on top of this. Now, in the beginning, you have the start here and the vault. In start here, you can start to have startup guides. In this case, you have a Axie startup guides, and in these startup guides, I have a couple of videos that I find extremely interesting and important for the scholars to listen and to see the videos and to learn from these videos. Then you have the vault. The vault, basically, what it has in here, it's a tracker of how much money we have in the guild vault. In this case, right now is actually 7,000 in the guild vault, right? But for the sake of your videos, I'm just going to put here 950, and then you can also have here in AXS, you can just have your actually just do this real quick. You can have, for example, 8 AXS, right? And then you can have a quick look in here on how much is your vault, how much money you have in your vault. Now, if you go back, you'll see that now in here we have games, and you also have the guild and tavern. Now, in the guild is basically where I added the information that is important for the guild itself. So if you go here, you have the rules. You can add your rules in here for your guild, and then you can have the ranks based on each guild. The reason for that is because, and then you can add your own images just to make it look pretty. But ideally, what you want to do is when you build your guild, you want to make sure that people are incentivized into being in the guild in the first place. So you can establish a fee that will decrease over time, and then you can establish the obligations that that person has in the guild, and also the perks that that person has by standing in the guild for the long term as well. So that's how you organize your guild. Now, the second part here is the tavern. The tavern basically is open. I added here coming soon because on our ends it's a bit of a mess right now. But on in here, basically the way that we are using the tavern, it's kind of just a way to hang out. Like it's a place that we can add news and events. We can share information that we want to share with the team, for example. We can share new projects, and we can check on new projects and discuss on those new projects. So you can do that in the tavern. And then you have the games. The games, depending on what you will play, you can just add the games in here, and then you can organize the way that your guild will work based on the games. So for example, in Axie, what I have in here, for example, you can have the builds, you can have themes, you can have your breeding farms in here and tracking, and you can also have your goals. And these links to the guild rank, so everyone is in their own, everyone knows exactly what the roles are. Now, inside of this, there is actually another thing that is interesting. Instead of builds, I'm just going to delete this one. If you go to aquatic, for example, you can start basically creating your builds in here, right? That's how it works. Then inside of themes, you can add themes in here. And the way that this works basically is you will add the theme one, and then you'll add your Axie ID to this theme, your theme here, and the other Axie ID here. And each theme will belong to a member. And you'll see that here you have like the related guild members for this particular theme, and I'm going to show you how you do that as well, and why we do that in the first place. And then breeding farms. Breeding farms, you can just basically create your OG farm, for example, plants one, and then you can keep count of your breeds, and also you can share or you can add this spreadsheet into here as well, and just have everything organized in a single place. So this one is more for organization and keeping track than anything else. Now, the other interesting one is here in goal tracking. Now, in goal tracking, I have a couple of tools here connected, and basically these tools, what they do is, so both of these tools here, they just allow you to track your scholars. You can basically connect your MetaMask, add your IDs in there, and it will track the scholars and how much SLP they got for that day and so on. Now, inside of here is where you can add your guild members. Now, if I open, for example, the London Knights, right? This here allows you to track the members, and then it allows you to create. So for example, this will be your member one, right? in the member one, and then you can add more members. What this does is you can say, okay, so the member one, right, it has the team one, for example, and this pulls directly from the Axie teams. And you can basically relate that, and that way you know exactly what the team is. Then you have the Ronin wallet here, or the MetaMask wallet that you can have in here for that member. And then you have the created date that that person entered, and then you have the promotion date. So when they're going to basically rank from London Night or whatever is the rank that you have to another rank. And then here you can keep track on just for them to go in each day and say, yeah, today I got like 150 SOP. So they like themselves, they can keep track of that. And then you can basically track everything in here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is like how we are working on Dragon Rush. If these basically becomes improved, I'm going to let you guys know as well. But ideally, you just want to keep adding members. If I go, for example, to Lords, you'll see that these will only filter Lords. And this also has a filter. Right? If I go to rules, it say only Lord ranks. And if I create a new one, it will automatically assign the Lord rank to that person. In High Lords as well, if I click, it will assign a High Lords and so on. So that's how you can keep track of things. And then for each one of them, you just need to add the promotion date so you can keep track on when you're actually going to promote them in the guild. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the two tools for Axie Infinity and other games, actually, for Notion in this case. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I have a super exciting announcement coming soon. So make sure that you subscribe and also keep so make sure that you subscribe to the channel because I am going to be giving away one Axie so you can start your own farm or your own team. And in this case, it's just your first tank. So I'm going to take one tank from my farm and I'm going to give away to someone, and that is a value of around $600, $700 or $800 per se. So just subscribe, and I'm going to basically add a video explaining how you can win that Axie soon. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.